Ever pondered the possibility of the world coming to an end? It's a question that has haunted humanity for centuries, a concept that has been interpreted and reinterpreted throughout history. The idea of the apocalypse, of an end to all things, is a potent one. It's painted in vivid strokes in the pages of the Bible, with its four horsemen and its lakes of fire. It's suggested by scientists who warn of global warming, of pandemics, of asteroids hurtling through space. Prophets and seers have seen it in their visions, whispered it in their sayings. It's a concept that elicits fear, curiosity, and a sense of awe. It's a question that has us looking to the skies, searching for signs, wondering if and when the final curtain will fall. Are these just baseless fears, or is there more to it? Consider the biblical predictions. They tell us of an impending doom. From the book of Revelation to the prophecies of Daniel, the Bible paints a vivid image of the end times. Cataclysmic events, wars, and natural disasters, all leading to the final judgment. Renowned religious scholars and theologians have dedicated lifetimes to studying these prophecies. Some interpret them metaphorically, seeing them as a reflection of the spiritual struggles within humanity. Others take a more literal approach, viewing them as precise predictions of the future. Consider the four horsemen of the apocalypse, symbols of conquest, war, famine, and death, or the mark of the beast, a sign of allegiance to evil forces. These concepts have stirred imaginations and sparked debates for centuries. Yet these prophecies are cloaked in allegory and symbolism. Their true meanings remain a subject of intense debate among scholars. This leads us to a crucial question: but how much truth lies in these ancient prophecies? Now, let's turn our focus to the realm of science. What does it have to say about the end of the world? The scientific community has been buzzing with theories about the apocalypse, each as fascinating as it is terrifying. Let's delve into a few of the credible ones. First up, climate change. The Earth's temperature is rising, glaciers are melting, sea levels are increasing, all signs of a global catastrophe. Scientists like James Hansen, a prominent climate researcher, warn us about the devastating consequences if we don't act promptly. Next, we have the ominous threat of nuclear war. With the proliferation of nuclear weapons, the possibility of a global nuclear war isn't science fiction. Renowned physicist Stephen Hawking once stated that if we don't control nuclear technology, it could spell our doom. Then there's the fear of pandemics. Recent experiences with viruses like COVID-19 remind us that a deadly global pandemic could be just around the corner. In fact, Bill Gates in his 2015 TED Talk predicted a similar scenario. Lastly, there's the possibility of an asteroid impact. While Hollywood might have romanticized this idea, the threat is very real. Research papers published in scientific journals like Nature have discussed the potential devastation an asteroid collision could cause. So, science too seems to warn us of an impending apocalypse. Having delved into both biblical prophecies and scientific theories, are we any closer to knowing if an apocalypse is nigh? We've journeyed through the corridors of ancient predictions and modern-day speculations, exploring the concept of an apocalypse from every angle. We've dissected biblical prophecies, unveiling tales of the world's end steeped in mysticism and morality. We've dissected scientific theories, where the end of the world is not a divine intervention but a cataclysmic event triggered by our own actions or a cosmic catastrophe beyond our control. Each perspective offers a unique lens through which to view the apocalypse, yet none provide a definitive answer. The truth is, the concept of an apocalypse is as varied as the minds that contemplate it. For some, it's a religious prophecy waiting to unfold. For others, it's a scientific prediction yet to be realized. Some see it as inevitable, a ticking time bomb counting down to zero. Others perceive it as a mere fantasy, a chilling tale spun to ignite fear or inspire change. In the face of such diversity, we encourage you to continue the exploration. Dive deeper into the theories, question the prophecies, and form your own opinion. After all, the world of knowledge is vast and ever-expanding, and every journey begins with a single step. In the end, the question remains: is the apocalypse a distant dystopian fantasy or a near intangible future?